Here we go. Let's look at showing you how to turn your floor plan into a planometric. In particular, it's going to be a planometric drawing that's going to sort of be a site plan for where your viewing platform sits. So what you do to do the planometric is you take your floor plan file, and I want you to pretend it's completely finished. In other words, all the dimensions are done and your front elevation's done. Right, so everything is done. First thing you want to do is go to File, Save As. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm actually doing a screen recording for you. But you go File, Save As, and save this file as a planometric or as your site plan. Because the last thing you want to do is move on to the site plan and then lose all this precious work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to get rid of, all right, we're actually going to get rid of your elevation and we'll get rid of your floor plan. I'm going to get rid of these dimensions that you've got here because they're not quite correct in regards to the spacing. Okay, because remember they needed to be 1 centimetre apart. And what we're going to do now is just zoom on in like so. And I just want to keep the last dimension, Toby. I don't need these two here. So let's just hope that it's actually going to let me. Yes, I can do it. Well done, Toby. Get rid of all of this. Get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to hang on to that little fella. I think I might use him. And I'm certainly going to hang on to this one. I'm going to use my measuring stick like so. Okay, this one here needs to be here. This one here, I'm actually going to take up to something. See how here? It's not quite touching. And then see here? It just extends beyond. This one here, we want to make sure I need to zoom in. This one here, you want to make sure it's touching. Go over to here. This one here was actually all a bit wonky, so I'll just zoom out again. And what I can do is, whoops, is copy and paste it. So I've got two of them, and then that one there is going to be placed here like so. And I'll just smooth it up a bit. All right, it can actually probably go down a bit as well. No, we might take it down a bit more as well. And now here, this one, take it up so it doesn't quite touch, but it's just sort of there like so. Can you notice that that line is really thick and these ones here are thinner? It's because the line is longer, so the stroke got fatter. But what I can do is select them all like so, and I can go to stroke, and I think dimension lines look really good at about a 0.25. They just look fine and delicate. And actually, we could even make them more delicate than your line drawing, because your line drawing is pretty delicate. So how about we even try 0.1, looking a lot lighter, looking a lot finer, because I don't think they need to stand out. Okay, also you can, if you wanted to, bring that back down to something more like this, if you think that that's going to look better. Want that to be the same as that. This time now, they are like way too thin, so we might now go take it back up to 0.25, and this one here, 0.25. Now I am actually going to group them like what you did before, and group, and I'm going to go copy and paste, and object, transform, reflect, and we want to horizontal. And now I'm just going to grab this. Oops, no, I've lost it. Maybe I didn't get them before. We'll try this again. Copy and paste. Do I have them? No, I don't have that last stick, so we'll try that again. Hopefully now I've got them all. And group. We'll go copy and paste, and yes, now I have it. Now we'll go back to object, transform and reflect, horizontal, and like so. Now I can actually bring this little guy, so he's sort of lining up, isn't he, with your other one. And can you see that that pink guide in the middle is connecting with the previous one? So again, I do need to have my little red friend, my measuring stick. We really want this to be sitting on top of this here like so. So that's where that next one's going to go, okay? And we've got these little fellas, we can put those on as well. Now I want to go paste again. This time here I want to go object, transform, and I want to rotate it. and we'll go 90 degrees this time. So now this one, okay, can actually go into lining up here, and this one here can line up with this here. All right, and then we can go copy paste, object, transform, reflect. This time we'll do it vertically. And now Tobes, this little fella, can sit in here. All right, so he needs to line up pretty much with that one there as well. All right, so we want to make sure that that lines up with this and that that's lining up with that. And last but not least, we need to make sure, to me, I'll just rotate this, object, transform, rotate 90 degrees. I have a funny feeling, Toby, that this is, needs to go out a little bit. All right, and get my measuring stick again. This part here looks like it's the widthiest part, the part that sticks out the most. This, I have a funny feeling, needs to come into this way like that. All right, so now we have got a bit of a site plan that's looking pretty good at the moment. It's going to turn into something. That's the boring work done, Toby. You've got some dimensions on there, so you can put your dimension numbers on. What we're going to do now, Tobes, is grab it all. I'm going to go transform, rotate, and 45 degrees. So you can actually decide, Toby, which direction you want to have it, because maybe you might like to have it like this, or maybe you might like to have it like this. Okay, that is completely up to you how you want to have it. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, and there we go. Now I'll just move those little dudes out of the way and put them up there in case you want them for later. Now this is where you get to have fun. So what I would probably do is, you might like to, as a starting point, you can have permission to make this a bit arty and a bit fun. Maybe you might like to make your dimension lines bright red so they stand out. Next, you might like to lock all this down. So we go object, and we're going to go lock, selection. Now that's not going to move, Tobes. So now maybe what you might like to do is things like, or actually you can, I might unlock it, because now what we can actually do is you could get into here like this, and maybe you'd like to do a fill colour. So, you know, it's up to you what sort of colour timber you want to have, or if it is made of timber. See? Now, can you see how that didn't fill in? That's because you've got a hole in there. So if you come up with something like that, you're just going to have to, well, you can turn around and lock it so it doesn't move on you. And then we are going to go in here and go like this, 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 and this. Hopefully I do have my black outlines, and I do. All right. I know that your shape goes like this here, doesn't it, Tobes? So you may need to redo this one again as well. We'll just check it out here, here. I think yours went down to something like this, here, and here. And now we've got them back again, Tobes. All right, you can have some fun things like, if I just show you, I'm going to show you this cool thing. If I just copy and paste that, so I've got two, okay? All right, I'll select that. I'm going to go to my swatches, and then I'm going to go here to the menu. And now open the swatch library. I'm now going to go to patterns, and I can go to basic, and I can go to lines, and look what we can actually do here. I can actually put lines on that, and then I might put that back on top. So now it actually looks like it's made of, you know, strips of timber. All right, so I'll leave that there for you to play with. The other nice thing that you can even do, and I think I have got it all unlockable, yep, beautiful, is you might even want to create some grassed areas. So Tobes, this is where you find the pencil tool. So you might actually just want to sort of loosely sort of draw something like so. You might like to fill colour it a beautiful green. Get rid of your outline. I always think the outlines look a bit dodgy. And then this can be placed on top, but we can actually send it to the back. So now it looks like your viewing platform is actually sitting on a grassed area. Although maybe we bring this over here, rotate it around like something like this, because I remember that you've got a pathway there, haven't you? So maybe you might like to, you could use your brush tool and see that's a bit of a crazy line. We just might edit undo that. You can go to brush, We can go to fill. You can go to your sandy sort of colours. Oh, that was probably better around here, wasn't it? So, oh, it's a bit yellow, isn't it? Okay, it might be better. And you can easily, draw in your sandy sort of path. We can also, with this, so see your line thickness, we can actually go into stroke and make that quite thicker like so. And then maybe this, it's not quite right. I mean, you just got to play with it, Tobes. But perhaps something like this sits in around here. And again, I send it to the back. Probably quicker if I do it this way, actually. And there you've got a path that's happening that looks absolutely revolting. But anyway, hopefully you can see the ideas that you can play with. Other beautiful things that you can actually do is to see our basic graphics. There was also in there, I'll go back to this way. So remember, I go to swatches, I'm going to go here, open swatch library, I'm going to go to patterns, I'm going to go to nature, and I'm going to go foliage. Now you can look in here, there's some really tacky stuff that's not good, okay? So meaning that if I just perhaps draw some little circles, whoops. Now I'll just swap that around actually, but see here, so they're a bit tacky. Some of the stuff in here you won't use. I just want nothing on that, thank you. All right, let's try again. So see they're a little bit tacky. Some of them you might be able to use, but a lot of them you won't. However, what you can do, to show you one more trick, is you might actually, with the paintbrush, you might actually end up drawing your own sort of series of grass. Oh look, you might even just sort of, draw things like this. And then I'll just draw another one, like so. How about we make it black outline? Oops. Grab them both. Let's go a black outline. Fill colour. Maybe something even a bit paler. Like so. We can make them sitting on top of each other like so. Bring this one here to the front. Right, so you've sort of got a couple there, like so. Okay, now select both of them. I can actually go to Object, Pattern, Make. All right, before you go clicking on all of this, you can actually make them, a lot. Okay, thank you. So that's our pattern there, but maybe you might actually change the tiling and the arrangement. Size to tile art. A grid here, we might go something like more like this, and then we're just going to go done. And now if I go over to here, it's in here. Alright, so now I can select this and I can click on this and it's now filling with something like that. So you can actually create your own swatches and things. So the whole idea of the planometric drawing is actually providing a little bit of context, a little bit of landscaping, all right? It's showing what your viewing platform is looking like from above with a little bit of landscaping and just one set of overall dimensions on it. And again, Tobes, we finish this off with a bit of a title block and you're done. So this one here you can actually have, I haven't given you some very good examples because it's nearly 10 o'clock at night, but this one here you can have a lot of fun. So make sure you check out the ones that are on Schoology that are done, and plus I can give you some more tips. So this one here is meant to be a quick and fun exercise. All right, hope this helps you out.